Lesson 16. Understanding the role one plays in a service. If you examine the time spent in a worship experience, and you break down the amount of time that a musician is implemented, you recognize that the amount of time that an organist plays makes up well over 90% of the worship service. I will use a mock basic grid to show you in a traditional Afro-American worship service, and many other cultural services too, that how important the role of the organist really plays a part in the service. For example, order of service. You have the call to worship. They pretty much play there. Praise and worship, yes. Prayer, they're playing very softly. Scripture, the organist plays softly. Choir selection A, they're playing. Then during the offering, basically there's a song or soloist, which would probably validate them playing. Choir B selection, yes. The announcements, they'll play softly. Choir C selection, they'll play softly. Pastor begins his message. There's possibly a song or two between that. He'll play a little bit. Now, right in between there, the organist gets a break because the pastor's preaching. Yet, at the end of the preaching, we have normally the organist comes back in at the end of the message. The organist is playing again. Altar call, they're playing. Benediction, the organist plays recessional music. So if you see this, it is pretty clear how important the job of an organist is in a local service. And they have a really good responsibility in carrying the service. There are a few things that you will need to know in really making this transition smooth and knowing your role. Know the atmosphere of your church. Every church is unique in its own way. Know the song list and the select songs that fit the mood of your church. Be very cautious about integrating new contemporary styles if you're in an older sanctuary or older style worship, and then be very sensitive on integrating older songs if you're in a more contemporary service. You kind of mix them in together. Number 2, sit with your pastor. Learn the vision of the church and what the direction of he or she has been called to move in. 3, don't miss the opportunities to fill in the gaps of the service whenever that is necessary. There's nothing more disappointing than to see movement in the service where something's getting ready to happen, the Spirit's getting ready to move, and the organist is taking a restroom break. Number 4, you must be prepared to change the pre-formatted script for the betterment of the service. So always be flexible. Number 5, stay focused. Once you're in the service, I believe that you should be in the service to the end. And an organist should never be found in the hallway, out in the vestibule of the church, on the parking lot, in the kitchen, in the store next door, during the worship experience.